What's up, dude?
What? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing good.
What are you drinking tonight?
I've got me the Michelob Ultras.
Oh, Michelob's, huh?
They're nice and refreshing.
Yeah, right on.
What do you got?
I gotta go here with my Coronas tonight.
You're missing the lime.
I don't have any tonight, sadly. Very sad. We went into Bucky's the other day. That Bucky's opened out here in Colorado. And
A heck of a store.
what's that?
That's a heck of a store.
Have you been?
I've been to one in Texas.
Yeah, same. I went to one, I think, down by San Antonio.
Yeah, the one I went to was in Dallas.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because they got like 100 gas pumps, and it was so crazy there. People were parking at the gas pumps and leaving, like to go into the store.
Oh yeah, a typical new store in Colorado right there.
Yep. And so the parking lot was full, and then so they'd park at a gas pump, and then they'd leave their car and walk in. I was like, unbelievable, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. It's crazy. It's the crime of the century, okay? False parking. Pretend to get gas and go to the freaking store.
The true Republican way, okay? That's how we're gonna get that funding for us, okay? The true way.
Oh no. You gotta throw that.
We're gonna throw it in there. All right, homie. You ready to go?
All right, man. You ready? I can tell by the way you're talking. You need to get corrected tonight.
You're getting corrected. All right, episode 5. Here we are. We stand corrected.
Already, episode 5. Can you believe it? We've already done 5 of these things.
I can believe it. It took us long enough to get here.
It's a good time. It's a good time. I've been enjoying it.
It took us like 5 months to get it figured out, though.
Figured out like the morning after the last day of the Vegas trip.
Yeah, like the last day of the Vegas trip. That's what we got on topic today, huh? So
We're going to talk a little bit about trip Joe and I took out to Vegas. Why don't we start from the very beginning? I'm going to let you take it off with the flight out there.
oh my goodness. So if you remember, I booked both of our flights, right? And you paid me or whatever, and we were going to fly separately direct. And I think both of our flights originally were supposed to like land around the same time. And I got to looking and I changed the flight because I seen there was one flight with a layover out of Colorado Springs, and that was your flight. And I got to looking at the numbers and I was like, oh, let's just do this. I'll fly down from Denver and I'll go to Colorado Springs. You can get your ass on and then we'll just go together. It works out because I still land at the same time. And I get on this plane and I'm texting you like, hey, we're backing out. And I was like, nah, we got to go back in. There was an engine malfunction, and you text me back and you go, you're so full of shit. And I was
I
like,
didn't believe you.
yeah. And I was like, no, they're really pushing us back in. And weren't you like looking at your phone at this time? You were watching the Flight Aware or whatever it was.
Yeah, so I followed the Flight Aware app, and I see the plane back out, and I'm texting Joe in the meantime, and it's amazing how real time it is. It's crazy. Then I see the plane pull back into the gate.
And you're like, you're really not fucking with me. So we waited, what, like an extra 30 minutes to an hour to finally get out of there? And it's hot.
They had to add some part to the engine or something.
Yeah, well, it was those 737 8 Maxes, remember? And remember that whole time I was
COVID too.
they just brought those planes back, and remember the whole time I was like, I was talking shit. I was talking so much shit about that plane.
Oh yeah. Joe's texting me. Oh, we're on one of those 737 Maxes. It's gonna fall apart in the sky. Well, little did we know.
Yeah,
When COVID happened, they parked them all out in the desert for months, a year or whatever it was.
yeah, because they had
reactive.
2 or 3 crashes, right, with those planes. And so they get the engine taken care of on our flight, and I'm like, hey, we're on the way, and we take off. And I've never been on a flight so turbulent. And I bet we were only like 10,000 feet in the air, if that. I mean, the whole ride, we were just shaking up and down, up and down, up and down. And people always talk about like how bad the turbulence is here when we land. I've never been on a ride so turbulent, but I've never
But
been.
I don't know, what's that? I mean, like to get from Denver to Colorado Springs in a car is like you're looking at like an hour.
Yeah, I think it only took like 20 minutes.
That's cool.
And so we land, and remember I text you when we land, and we're taxiing in, and there's people getting off the plane, and we're waiting there, and I'm like, "What's taking so long?" And one of the ladies come over the intercom and she's like, "Folks, we're gonna have to get you off. We blew 2 tires when we landed."
So then I get this text from Joe. They're gonna deboard the plane. We popped a tire on the way in.
You were like, "No, they
Get
fucking didn't."
out of here. You're so full of shit. No, I'm serious. They're gonna fly a new one in from Phoenix.
And so you still didn't believe me, and then off I walked, and then there you were, and you were it was kinda like that moment when I told that story of looking in your front window. You know,
It was kind of weird, right? Like, okay, well, I'm eating crow now. Here he is,
there
off the plane.
there he is, he wasn't fucking lying to me, and this whole time you think I'm just bullshitting you. And I'll let you take this part of the story because we ended up sitting for like 2 or 3 hours trying to get to Vegas after this because we were waiting for that
Well,
flight from Phoenix to come in.
I want to say our flight was supposed to leave Colorado Springs at like 5 or 5:30 or something.
Yeah.
Um, we ended up finding the bar out in the terminal there, and we're paying $5-6. It was ridiculous what you pay for beer in an airport, and we had more than our share. The plane didn't end up leaving until like 9 o'clock that night.
So, yeah, something like that.
It was late as shit. They ended up actually putting us on a new plane. We flew out to Vegas, and we ended up getting into Vegas at like it was like 10:30 or 11 o'clock, I think.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, but I think you gotta go back a little bit and talk about that bar scene at the
The
COS.
bar scene, that's right, man. I almost forgot about that. The bar scene. So we're in this little. It's almost like a pre-set up bar that's in the middle of the concourse of the terminal we're in. There's this old lady that's bartending, and there's this guy that looks like he's probably been there all day long. And this guy is gone, drunk off his ass, gone. He keeps leaving and coming back. He would like lean his bar stool up against the counter and then leave for 5 or 10 minutes to go check on a flight. And we both know for damn well that they're not going to let him on that plane.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, you were ordering us shots.
Or we had some shots, we had some beer, we had some Heinekens, Coronas.
Yeah, and then finally 2 seats opened up at the bar, and we were like, "Let's just go sit up there because we got tired of standing or sitting away from the bar, remember?"
That's right.
And we go sit up there, and you're like, "I want a Coors Light," and we can see Coors Light sitting in the little the fridge on the floor, remember? And she looks at you and goes, "No, we're out. Can't have any of those." And so you
Would
ordered.
have served me.
She didn't serve
It
you.
wouldn't serve me a Coors Light.
So I don't know what you ended up ordering, both of us. You ordered us some beer. I don't remember what it was.
It was like Stella Artois or something.
And we finished that because, I mean, we got nothing but time at this point. And I was like, "Okay, I'll buy the next round." And so I go up to her and I'm like, "Can I get a Coors Light?" And she opens it up and gives it right to me. Remember?
Yeah, she bitch had a fucking vendetta on me.
So I end up drinking your
hell?
Coors Light because she wouldn't give it to you.
We ended up getting on the plane, getting out of it, and we stumbled our way down to get on the plane. I'm surprised they kind of let us in. We had to be careful.
Yeah, you got a video of me walking around that airport.
I do. You know what? I might have to post that up in the link. I might have to post that up on social media.
Yeah, thanks.
That would be funny. But the Vegas trip was fun. It's a great time. Vegas is always fun. We stayed at the Rio Hotel.
Yeah, we did, and we kinda went off the pre-COVID vibe of it, you know, and
Nothing was too crazy busy.
now it was, but everything had shut down, remember? They used to have that cool buffet in there.
Yeah,
I know you've been there. We never went together, but, I mean, that buffet was, I mean, it was
it
top
was on
notch.
point.
Yeah, you got everything in there. You got crab legs, steak, prime rib, any
A lot
type
of
of food.
dill.
Yeah, any type of food you wanted. And that's what we were kinda going and looking for, and then we found out it was closed, remember? And,
I do.
what did we do that first night we got in there? I don't even remember. Did we go out?
I was I was trying to think. I think we went to the Strip. I want to say we went and walked up and down the Strip a couple times, and
Just kinda chilled
we
'cause it
went
was already
to
late.
we went and had dinner with those other guys we met down there at what was that place called?
Oh, it was Wahoo's, yeah, Wahoo's. Yeah.
Great taco place.
Yeah, it was very good, and then we got our day started the next night, remember? I think we hung out just at the hotel and drank beer that night, honestly. I think we went and got, what, like a couple 12 packs and just sat around the room and drank with everybody.
I think we hit up the ABC store and went back to the room.
Yeah, anyone that doesn't know, that's the way to go in Vegas. You find your ABC store, you go get a 12 pack of beer, and off we go. But remember the next morning we woke up and you had planned for us to go to the strip club that night.
That's right, man. And I had set it up for like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it was like 4:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, I don't want to go too late because I want to make sure that we're able to enjoy it and it's not too crowded and crazy. So I had called like 3 days earlier while I was still in Colorado Springs. I called this gentleman's club down in Vegas, and this very attractive sounding lady answers the phone. Thank you for calling the Crazy Horse. Let me help you out. Really, really pretty girl, sounding girl. So I'm telling Joe, and we get down to Vegas, and I said, I'm going to call and check on a reservation.
You were like, you got to hear how hot they are.
I was like, dude, this chick's just watch this. I put it on speakerphone and everything. I'm like, this chick's going to sound sexy as hell.
Yeah, and so here it goes, it's ringing.
Thanks for calling the Crazy Horse. How can I assist you, dear? Yeah, and I had to think about it for a minute, man. I said, well, I have a reservation for 4:30. That's something, sweetheart, because we don't even open until 8. So how the hell are they going to pick you up at 4:30? So, well, what do I need to do here? Well, we need to change your reservation. Just hold your horses, dear. Hold your horses, sweetheart. And we went back and forth, man. She got me. She was a really nice old lady, but she sounded like she was going to cough up a lung on the phone.
She sounded
Definitely
just like
not what I was expecting. I mean, dude, verbatim, the voice. Thanks for calling the Crazy Horse.
and she must
Hold on, 1 second. Yeah, maybe the owner's great granddaughter, or who knows? Maybe even the first employee there.
Yeah, and here I am trying to take your word for it. And I'm in the background trying not to laugh because I'm like, oh God, yeah, she's really hot. Like, what is this guy talking about?
This dude's holding his mouth in his gut because I'm fucking eating crow here. Listen to this nasty old lady talk like that.
And you hung up the phone and I was like,
I sound super sexy, sweetie.
I said, I think once we hung up, I said that wasn't what I was expecting. You were like, "Are you sure?" Oh, it's fun though.
you got our bus ride set up, remember? And we ended up getting on the bus later that night. They came to the hotel and picked us up.
Yeah, we got on the bus and
I had that
Sure.
backpack. Remember, I brought my backpack cooler and we filled it full of beer before we left.
cans of Budweiser,
Not at that time.
Bud Light.
I think we had Coors Heavy at that time because we were all sitting in that bus.
Well, it was Coors Original, yeah.
Yeah.
Coors Banquet, the
Yep.
banquet beer.
And we're sitting in that bus, remember? And one of the guys dropped one of the beers and it's rolling around on the floor back there.
Dude, and it went from the back of the bus all the way to the front of the bus, and then the dude would hit the gas and it'd go all the way to the back again, and nobody could catch this goddamn can of beer because this guy was in a hurry to get us to the friggin' gentleman's club.
We were the first ones there. Yeah, and we get off and there's beer dripping everywhere and we're just like, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
I'm surprised it didn't like hit a bolt on the ground and pop, and like start spraying like a sprinkler in there. Yeah, and we get to this gentleman's club, right? Man, but talk about like a used car lot for naked women. Dude, they push. I've been to used car lots that aren't that pushy.
Yeah, well, we got it. We were the first ones, remember? And there were like eight of them that came up to all of us. And remember, there were 2 that sat with me, and then there were 2 over by you. And she was playing the used car salesman on you, and then the other 2 were with me. And you ended up buying me a dance, remember? And it was from the one you were sitting with. And do you remember how pissed those 2 got when you bought that for me? And
Oh yeah,
it's like a war in there between that, man.
dude, they're
So crazy.
they're in no doubt in competition. So I have these 3 over there, and I finally pick one that I want to give to buy a dance for Joe with. The other two looked at me like, well, fuck you, and walked off. Just like, turned around and gave me the cold shoulder. I'm like, what kind of business do you think you're in here, lady?
Yeah. And so remember, she takes me back and she does her thing, right? And we ate dinner before we go over there. So let me clarify this. And I'm over here and I got the fucking bubble guts like a motherfucker at this time. Like I am so bloated and this fucker buys me a dance and I go in
Guts
the
are
back
gurgling.
and I'm trying my hardest. Like, what am I going to do? I'm like about to blow a seam here, but it's not the seam you need.
And it's like getting done, remember? Driving movie theater reenacted at the strip club.
And I am just sweating like, no, like you can't even enjoy it. And it gets over. I'm like, I need to find a bathroom. Can you show me where a bathroom is? And then I walk off to the bathroom and she comes back to you. And I don't even know what she said to you, but
So, so she gets back to me and she goes, your friend had a great time. And I was like, really? I said, that's good. Yeah, he's in the back getting himself cleaned up right now. Like, I don't know. He must have had a really good time then. So then this lady proceeds to tell me, she goes, he was telling me he's ready for the next step now. And I said, well, what's that? He's ready to go 3 girls at the same time now. And then I go, what's that going to cost? That's like, it's going to be like $500. I said, well, I don't. She goes, well, he swears he's ready to do this and he's going to be disappointed if you don't. I said, that doesn't sound like him at all. I said, well, I want to wait till he comes out here and talk to him about this. She gets all pissed off and leaves.
and I come back.
Well, then she tell her, something, didn't she?
Yeah, something. I don't remember, but I come back out and you come sit by me and you go, did you tell her you wanted more? And I was like, what?
Dude, they're scandalous, man.
Yeah.
Lying blatantly.
Yeah.
He's ready to, he wants more.
He wanted it all. He was enjoying it. Yeah, I was sweating. I was hurting.
Bubble guts, you got some shit climbing all over.
Yeah, she's climbing all over me, and I'm like, oh God.
Of all the times.
We couldn't have waited like 30 more minutes.
But so then didn't we finished up there. Well, we were there for quite a while because we had like the drink package.
Yeah,
we were everything.
We were trying to put down all the beer because we had plenty of beer buckets coming. And I don't even think we finished all the beer between all of us.
We tried. We gave it a hell of a go.
And the other two were already just so long gone and drunk. They were like, we're going back to the room. So the bus took us back to the hotel, remember? And then there were 3 of us. It was you, me, and one other. And we were like, well, I'm not ready to go to bed. And I was like, you ready to go to bed? And we were like,
and none of us were. And I think the one other really likes a good party too.
Yeah, he likes a good party. And he wasn't totally sauced, but he was pretty sauced. And so we ended up going to the strip, remember? Because there's that free shuttle. Wasn't there a free shuttle that took us to the strip?
Yep, from the Rio. They have their free shuttle. It runs you over there.
Yep. And we get over to the strip, and I think we found the ABC. Oh, I had my backpack, huh? So we had my backpack still full of beer because at the strip club, they took it from me and put it in the old locker.
Yep.
And my backpack, I brought that.
I think we still had plenty of beer in there.
Yeah, it was a cooler backpack. And I mean, that was the plan. Carry all the beer in the cooler backpack, and you got beer on hand. And we're walking around drinking beer, remember? And we're like by the Flamingo or Harrah's or somewhere in there.
I think we're in the Flamingo.
Yeah, and this guy starts, I don't even remember what he said to me. Do you remember? Like, he said something to me.
He was, I mean, this man did not mean any foul play at all. He was just having fun. He said something to him about like, let's get this show started or something like that. And a guy.
Yeah, but he was like laughing.
The guy was having fun.
Yeah, and the guy we were with was like, what's so funny now? Remember?
This dude was
that guy's eyes got all big, and he was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, man. I didn't mean it. And took off. And he got all scared. And he ran out of Dodge, man.
Well, then was that the same night with the
in the
taxi cab with the
with the cigars.
I had bought a few
Well,
cigars.
hold on, no. Yeah, you did, but our buddy was so gone, remember? I was like, "Hey, we gotta get him back to the hotel because if we don't do it now, he's not gonna make it." And that's when you came in with the cigars right there at that time, so I'll let you go on that one.
So I decided, okay, I'm like halfway smoking this cigar, you know. I think I lit it up in the Flamingo, which is weird about Vegas. You can go in a freaking business and smoke. You feel like you're gonna get in trouble, but they're cool with it. So I light this nice cigar up in the Flamingo, and I mean, I might have smoked half of it in there, and I get in the taxi cab, and Guy C goes, he's sitting next to me in the back seat. I'm gonna get one of those.
I'm in the front. I don't know how I ended up in the front.
So I go, all right, dude, are you sure? Yeah, I want one. Well, I don't know if we're like supposed to be smoking in the taxi cab because this guy had this. He had a not very nice look on his face when we were doing that. So we're going, and Guy C may have taken 2 or 3 good drags off of this cigar, and it's lit. I mean, it's lit bright. The cherry's glowing,
And he's lost at this point. He's lost in his mind at this point.
he's out of it. Like
Yeah.
this. So then we get about halfway back to the hotel, and Guy C commences to passing out in the back seat of the taxi with his cigar in his mouth. And I look over at him, and a cigar falls out. I don't know how. Maybe it burned a hole in his shirt. I don't know. But falls on the ground, and this guy's driving crazy. And I'm looking down, and I just see this cherry. I just see the cherry on the cigar rolling around in the floorboard of this taxi cab. So I'm and grab it.
And
Discreetly.
I keep seeing him. He's like looking in the back, and he keeps looking, and I'm like kind of glancing at him, and I'm like glancing at you because I'm in the front, and I'm like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I keep seeing you trying to like bend down, and you're bending over, and you can't grab it, and you bend over again, and I can see that cherry rolling across back and forth as I start to glance. So he turns a corner, it rolls one way, and you're trying to chase it, and then he turns another corner, and it rolls the other way. It's like watching Wile E. Coyote.
I'm trying to pick it up without getting burned. I don't know how it didn't burn the inside of the car up. I thought for sure. I said, this thing's going to go under the seat. This car's going to catch on fire. I ended up grabbing it and getting a hold of it. We ended up getting Guy C back up to the room where he belonged.
Guy C. Yeah, and we ended up just sitting in the room and drinking the rest of the night. That night. And then the following night, that was the night we ended up downtown, huh?
Yeah, I think that's when we went to Fremont Street.
Yeah.
That was one of the greatest Vegas nights of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. And we walked into the Golden Nugget, and I was telling you beforehand, I was like, dude, if there's a Wheel of Fortune machine, we got to play it. And you were like, what the fuck's a Wheel of Fortune machine? And we're walking through the casino, I think, right? And I was just showing you, I said, look, there's the Wheel of Fortune, there's some Wheel of Fortune, you know, and they're all priced penny, quarter, dollar, $5, whatever. And we were looking for blackjack at the time, and you're not a big blackjack guy. So we found a blackjack table, I think that was like $5, and it was crowded. So we go off and play blackjack with guys A, B, and C. And you sat down at the Wheel of Fortune slot, and I had no idea where you were. And we were playing blackjack for like over an hour. I bet we played for like 2 hours of blackjack. And I finally lost all my money, and I'm walking around, and I'm trying to find you. And I call you up, and I'm like, where you at? And you go, I'll let you go on that part.
Well, so I sit down at I find this Wheel of Fortune machine. I sit down at it, and I go, okay, this is my one hurrah. I'm like, we've got $20. It's a dollar machine. All or nothing. I'm going to throw this 20 in there. I'm going to bet backs, pull the lever, and see what happens. So I bet max, and I think I won. I think I won like $10 or something.
And this was a dollar machine? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Or maybe, I think it was.
It was a dollar. It was a $1 or $5 machine. It wasn't a quarter machine.
So, there's no way you'd see me sitting in a $5 machine. But anyway, so I ended up putting another 30 on this machine and betting max. You know, I did all the lines, all the different options you have there, and pulled the lever. Ding, 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 ding. Lights start flashing, whistles blowing. I ended up hitting a $2,500 jackpot on that $20 or $30 at that point.
Yeah, and so
Joe's looking for me, and I get this call on my phone. Where you at? I'm like, dude, I'm winning a freaking jackpot right now. I can't leave.
And I'm playing the card like on the plane, like, no, you didn't. Shut up.
He don't believe me. This nice lady comes in, like some member of management for the Golden Nugget comes up and, can I get you another drink? And I said, yeah, get me another or a bourbon and Coke, and she goes and brings me a bourbon and Coke and let me get you set up with our players card. They do everything they can to try to keep you there to win their money back.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. They
So I said, with that, I said, well, with this, I'm going to cash this shit out. We're going to go buy a bunch of beer at the ABC store and go back to the room and party. And that's what we did.
Well, and I found you though. I found you. And sure enough, there you were. Jackpot and all, an old lady there talking to you. We didn't go back to the room that night though, right away. Remember?
No, we stopped at an ABC store on the way out, walked up Fremont Street a little bit.
Yeah.
Down the whole, where the screen that covers the road.
Yeah, we ate dinner out there. We found like one of those special hot dog stands that were on like diners, drive-ins, and dives or whatever.
Yeah.
And we ate hot dogs, but we ended up back at the Strip.
And at this point, we had empty beer boxes.
Yeah, we were all out of beer. No, we were out of beer. We had nothing. And we walked into ABC, the one that was close, and it was all out of beer. Remember, it was sold out.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And then we went into CVS. I think we walked into CVS, and there were 2 boxes of beer left. One was Budweiser, one was Bud Light. That was all that was left. And we ended up buying both of those boxes and filling up my backpack, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And those boxes were empty. And here you are. You threw a Budweiser box on my head. And I walked around. Not non-folded. It's still a box, dude. And I ended up walking with a Budweiser box on my head up and down the Strip the whole night. You remember how much attention that got me? Like positive attention, honestly.
Dude, people loved it. And they thought it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. And
guys, it was amazing.
They thought it was really amazing. It was one of the
It was the greatest thing they'd ever seen. Absolutely spectacular. Okay.
It was some of the best $12 we've ever donated ever. Okay.
And then Guy,
I don't know how did you earn the name? We started calling you Bud Heavy.
We did, but Guy C threw on the Bud Light box. Remember? So we got Bud Heavy, we got Bud Light, and so here I am drinking Bud Heavy up and down the Strip, and everyone's just, I guess I was hot shit that night. I don't know.
You weren't the next day.
Yeah. And we end up back at the hotel, and it's all of us in the room, and we finished that beer off that night in, I don't know, what's it, like 2, 3 in the morning at this point.
Oh, at least.
And we got to check out at like 10, 11 a.m.
I think it was 11.
And we went back and we passed out in the room, and I hear this knock on the door, and it's housekeeping, and I'm like, nah, we're still here. And I roll out of bed, remember, and I'm like, oh, fuck, where's my clothes? And I'm just like butt-ass naked. I didn't even know where my clothes were, dude. And I'm like, what the fuck happened to my clothes, man? And you're like, you just didn't even hear anything. You're like,
well, I just wanted to go back to like sleep, man.
I'm like, dude, we got 5 minutes to get the fuck out of here. And here I am, no clothes on, and I'm just like in a panic, and I'm hungover as shit, dude. Dude,
I felt like dog ass that day, man. I was awful. Terrible. I didn't feel like doing nothing.
I don't think we got out of the room till 11. That's how slow we were moving.
Yeah, we were late.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up getting out of there, and I think we went and had lunch somewhere.
Yeah.
And then in there, I went to the airport, and I remember going through the Las Vegas airport terminal, and my flight was like the very last one at the end of the concourse. It felt like I was going on a 10-mile hike.
Oh,
that was right. Sweating out beer.
We didn't go back together. We all flew our separate ways.
I didn't think I was ever going to make it, dude. I was just sweating out. I had beer running out of my pores.
Yeah. And that's how that journey ended, man. That was a good ass journey though.
On a side note, I'm not a traditional winner when it comes to gambling. So that night I called my wife and I go, guess what? I'm sitting at the slot machine. And it's like, she was sound asleep here by the time I called her. What? So I woke her up. What? And I said, I just won a $2,500 jackpot. No, you didn't. Get out of here. No, I'm serious. I did. I'm waiting for my money right now.
I think I got a picture of that still.
Do you really? I think I
Yeah.
might. You should
Yeah.
send it to me.
Yeah, I'll look it up when we get off here.
All right.
So,
Like if you could pick on one hand right now, I mean that was a great vacation. Where would you choose to go? Anywhere in the world?
who in the world? And I've been to Vegas, I bet 10 plus times, so I'm over Vegas. Um, and I have to do somewhere like Caribbean, Bahamas, with the blue water, I think. I really enjoy the Gulf of Mexico side of the water. I don't think anything
Yeah,
beats that. I mean, I've been
no,
on
I
the
would agree with
Pacific,
that.
I've been on the Atlantic, and nothing beats that water, especially even if you're in Southwest Florida, Tampa, St. Pete, even Fort Myers. If you've ever been on the Gulf there, the waves are like so minimal, but yet it's so warm. And it's almost like a miniature hot tub.
Yeah, it's
Just
bath water warm.
Yeah. It to me, like, that's the best experience ever because you're not getting blasted by 6-foot waves coming in every so often. But uh, I want to go back to Mexico. I want to start there, I think. What about you?
It's hard to beat. It's really hard to beat the beaches in Mexico, especially like Playa del Carmen area and the Riviera Maya.
Well, you've been to Mexico multiple
Um,
times, right?
yeah, I've been to Cancun, Ensenada, out on the west coast of Mexico, which wasn't really.
You went down by my great beautiful wall. By my great beautiful wall.
It wasn't far from that wall, but it was well before the wall was ever erected. Okay,
It was really
but
erect,
no,
really big.
I would highly recommend the Caribbean side of Mexico. It's beautiful, like Cozumel and Riviera Maya. Cancun's okay, but it's a little bit too busy for me.
Yeah.
It's you know it's not the same. But um, as far as the states go, like Florida. The further south in Florida you go, the happier I am. I think it's amazing. The Florida Keys, it looks just like being in the Caribbean. Beautiful turquoise blue water, warm, hot tub warm.
Yeah. You were supposed to take me. You never took me. Asshole.
Yeah, well, we need to plan a trip there soon.
Yeah. You better talk to the wife. Okay. Talk to the
Get an
wife.
Airbnb and get one right on the water. Maybe rent a boat.
Yeah. Do a little fishing. I've seen how you fish out there.
Dude, every night, man. All you need is a pair of shorts, a wife beater, a fishing pole, and a beer.
That's all we got right now. I got a wife beater, a pair of shorts, and a beer in my hand right now.
All right, well, you're set then.
I'm ready. That's what we're gonna have to do though, because I do got a trip coming up to the Bahamas. I do want to see, and we're gonna have to share those experiences, as those come. So
Exactly. I think you said maybe we'd even do a podcast from the cruise ship, maybe.
I'm
Maybe a
gonna have.
call in type.
Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it? I might try it.
That
It
would be
depends how
something.
my luggage looks. Hauling this microphone and computer around, but
Why you just call in from your phone. You don't have to haul your whole studio down there.
well, we'll have to dedicate part 2 to the next vacation next week, right?
Yeah, sounds good to me. We'll just go on down the list.
Let's do it. Well, we hit that 38-minute mark, buddy.
Yeah, I think we're doing good. Those of you listening, and please like and share our podcast. We're always looking for more listeners. We hope to continue to grow and reach out to as many of you as possible.
And we're getting on all the big social media platforms trying to spread the word. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, what is it called now? Elon Musk.
It's called X. It's now Republican. Okay, it's not Twitter anymore.
We're not gonna get on Truth Social. We're gonna stay away from that, okay? We're gonna stay.
We'll be joining it as soon as it goes public. As soon as it goes public, we'll be joining it so we can contribute to the great American cause. Okay.
All right, homeboy. Till next week.
All right. Let's stand corrected.
All right. Glad to get corrected with you today. All right. We'll see you soon.
Perfect night for it. Good night, everybody.
All right. Night.